Johnny Vaughan.
Right, let's hit it.
Radio X.
This is the Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 Thing podcast, compiled by the silent but deadly Big Si. That was him. On this week's collection of nonsense, there is a drunk Spider-Man, which for me, for daytime drinking, is the way forward.
Superhero costume.
Just superhero. It just always looks like you're like the straggler from a stag night.
Yeah.
People think, oh, he's a straggler. We've got Swedish safe sex advice, Martin's hot tap. This is insane, isn't it, really? And we're spotting birds and doing crosswords, slicing cheese and keeping bees. We're driving vans and sinking cans of carbonated beverages.
That's right,
incidentally.
yeah.
That's all coming up. Enjoy the podcast and do subscribe to it. And can I ask everyone, because it's all free and thing, could you just text a friend, say, you got to subscribe to the podcast, Johnny Vaughan's 47 Thing. Just really help us. It really get the people upstairs off our backs.
They're really heavy people.
They're really heavy people, yeah.
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
Radio X.
Sunta's back. Hi, Sunta.
Hi, Sons.
Sun, you've been in Lanzarote. How's Lanzarote?
It was gorgeous, thank you.
What did you do?
Very little. It was lovely.
Did you take advantage of the enormous shops selling a massive range of cheap booze? Did you not go to any of those shops like they got in Tenerife?
No, not really. We did drink quite a lot.
So you didn't go to any of those shops that just have literally the walls are just whiskies you've never heard of and vodkas you've never heard of, called things like I don't know, Vivitar.
Yeah.
Those sort of names. You sort of think that's not a real vodka. Come on.
Well, they
Monarch of the Glen whiskey.
They sell like vodka in the supermarkets for like €5.
I know.
And I just think, I'm going to spend a bit more than that on my vodka.
Yeah. Welcome to Lanzarote. Booze sale now on. That's what it's like. You see everyone going round the supermarkets. Everyone's like, Dad, it's £5, Dad. You see people just cradling bottles of scotch like it's an Oscar. Like, I just want to thank Hypermercado Lanzarote for giving me the chance to drink this vodka at such low prices. So you just stayed in your 3-bedroom villa, the two of you.
Yeah. With our own private pool.
I was just going to say, did you sleep around? But I meant, did you move around the house and sleep in different beds?
No. That would be a bit weird, wouldn't it?
No, it's the sort of thing I'd do if I was in a 3-bedroom place, yeah.
Well, you make the most of it.
Yeah, I make the most of it. I'd definitely sleep in all the beds. Let's try that one out tonight. Do you not do that?
No.
I'd definitely do that. Do you use all the loos?
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about you, little side? Where did you go?
I went to Menorca.
Okay, what's records next? No, I'm just kidding. How was Menorca? The quiet island.
What do you think to my tan?
You haven't got a tan?
Oh, you're all right.
You haven't got any tan at all. Did you go out in the sun?
Yeah. I put 50 on just to be safe.
That's a bandage.
With your body though, you can get between rays. He can dodge rain. Did you have a lovely time?
It was really nice.
Whereabouts did you stay in? I'm going to say keep it a bit light, 'cause I'm not that interested in your life. But go on.
I went with my mum and dad, so it wasn't particularly like.
Did you have to sneak out your window at night and stuff like that? Oh, did you? Are you allowed to smoke in front of your parents?
No, I don't swear.
You don't swear or smoke in front of your parents?
No.
He doesn't smoke anyway.
I know, I was just saying things like that.
He doesn't really swear either.
He doesn't really swear, so you should be fine there. Did you drink heavily in front of them?
No.
And say increasingly bitter things about how they brought you up? Did you do that?
No.
Oh, right.
You missed a trick there, little
So
side.
what did you do all day? It's just you and your parents?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. We watched a bit of Dad's Army. Wholesome entertainment.
I've got to tell you, mate. God, man,
And a 12-quid copy of the Telegraph every morning?
sounds like a really awful holiday, I've got to tell you. It's just you and your parents.
X. This is Radio X.
Shiny happy people, R.E.M. On the Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 thing. Welcome to Radio X. Get into the music. Is that the woman, on that R.E.M. tune, is that the woman from the B-52s?
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Correct. Next question.
Thanks very much. No, they just spoil weddings, the B-52s. but she doesn't spoil that.
No, she doesn't.
Normally I use the B-52s. That's my chance to get to the bar because it clears out the idiots. As soon as you hear Rock Lobster, you think, great, that'll flush out the idiots. Straight to the bar, get a bit of room there. Excellent. It is the idiot detector, isn't it? Am I wrong to say that?
I think it's a great tune at a wedding.
Bang, ding, 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 ding. I know. It is. Don't worry. And I'm an idiot. But what I'm saying is, it definitely moves the idiots away. They're attracted by it. Stick that on, and you'll get some room at the bar.
Okay.
I use Sex Bomb by Tom Jones.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
What's the other B-52s? They have other big tune.
Love Shack.
Yeah, that's that
That
really is. That's
one,
like a
really.
daisy cut around morons. That'll take them out. Oh, you get some room by the bar there. They're both tunes I like to dance to, but only when I've had a few drinks. So if you're a bit behind the drink count, I always find I won't dig myself in deeper. How are you today, Suds? You right?
I'm good, thank you.
Do you do a lot of weddings? Do you?
A few actually.
Is B-52s in your set list?
Not usually, not unless it's requested.
What's your own comfort break tune?
Iggy Pop, Lust for Life.
That'll do it.
Yep.
1:15 on the intro, alone. And plus he gets you running.
Yep.
Like you and McGregor at the start of Trainspotting, so you
Plus,
find the cars.
if you have to come back because there's a queue, you can fade it out quite quickly because it just repeats a lot.
What, and then you come back in with it again when you want to. Oh, that's brilliant.
It's
What
an
do you say?
all-rounder.
I nearly played this last time. But there was
Just a teaser.
There was a hell of a queue. How are you there, Gav? You right?
Yeah, really good.
What have you been up to today?
Talking to my builders in the rain.
How is that with your builders? I'll just fill you in on the situation. Gav's got some builders in at his house. He's redoing his house. He's been living in temporary accommodation.
I'm due back in 2 weeks after 7 months away.
Wow.
I've been renting a flat while they're building it, and it doesn't look like I'm going to be going into a finished house.
Well, no, this is my real problem with ages ago we did up the house, and
Yeah.
it's so ungratifying.
You described it as you don't get that new car
No,
experience.
you never get this moment where it's like you buy something. If you buy, or even buy a pre-owned car, it's in good nick, where you get the ta-da!
Yeah, there it all
New
is.
car, new thing.
Yeah, you just go in and see things that need
go.
doing.
And all the lights will have to be we've still got to do them. I mean, imagine you bought a car in that situation.
They call it frivolously.
There will be a bonnet.
Frivolously, they call it snagging.
Yeah, snagging, yeah. And obviously there'll be wheels on there, and we'll put the back seat in. There'll
Be an engine.
There'll be a gear stick when you know eventually, and all that wire won't be hanging out. I mean, you wouldn't buy anything else in the state, and the money that goes into it for something so unsatisfying.
You're right, yeah.
And then what happens, Gav? This is the sad thing: they're never finished because you just think, just go.
And then once they've gone, you think, I wish I'd done that.
We'll just finish it. No, don't worry, we can do that ourselves. We'll just do that ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll do
No,
that
you
ourselves.
never do.
No, you never do.
No.
Radio X.
Okay, Gav, we've been through the stag season of our lives,
Yeah,
yeah?
thank God, yeah.
It's over. Little size got it to come. Big size sort of going through it now. But this Chinese gangster has really, really laid a marker down here.
What's he done?
Well, I think this is, I'm not saying it's like a stag night, but this is the sort of mentality you need to carry through.
Okay.
You ready?
Go on.
Well, actually, that's a bit irresponsible of me. I've got to tell you. But here you go. A Chinese gangster. And that's what he is. I like the fact that even the Telegraph are saying that.
Just
You sort of
official,
think, that's
yeah.
a bit subjective.
Yeah.
But I think what follows...
It's on his LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, gangster. Yeah. Looking for work? We need a gangster. Software solutions. Gangster solutions. Debt collection. Wealth management. Okay, check this. A Chinese gangster celebrated his release from prison with a guard of honor and a party at a 5-star hotel. I'm afraid that party ended with authorities arresting him 3 days later.
Why?
Well, I don't know what happened, but let me just give you the build-up here. I mean, already they've set their stall out. You ready? Cheng Yu's was greeted by... This is when he comes out of the big house, yeah? He's greeted by 120 men, 20 Land Rovers, 30 Mercedes and 6 Hummers.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when he left. I'd say that's a group of men who are right up for it.
That's a private army.
No, but he must be a real party guy if he's pulling that in. Because they could get on with partying if they're that kind of connected. They can party. But they're waiting for Chang.
He wasn't going to struggle for a lift, was he?
Yeah, but I wonder if they said to him, it just hasn't been the same without you. We just haven't partied. You know? But as he came out of jail, he left the jail. Tens of thousands of firecrackers were set off to ward off bad luck.
Where in the
Yeah. No, outside the jail.
Either way.
Outside the jail, they're just parked up there with Land Rovers. And then, here's one for irony fans. Cheng was then arrested on charges of disturbing public order. Because of the tens of thousands of firecrackers set off to ward off bad luck. And I'm afraid...
So he brought some bad luck in
I'm afraid
instead.
he is back in the big house. and also...
He had one job.
And even worse for him there is his wife's been nicked as well. Presumably she had the lighter.
Yeah.
Radio X.
Yesterday, I asked you for a new version of the well-known expression, kicking ass and taking names, or it is something more realistic and British.
Yeah.
The USA's got the phrase that pays. That's the trouble.
Yeah.
They got things like snapping necks and cashing checks, and they can just count things like that. And but Gav, you've had some brilliant ones. Gav, what did you have yesterday?
I had driving jags and smoking fags.
Yeah, but today you got something even better.
Slicing cheese and keeping bees.
What are you, a monk? I am a Gregorian monk.
I've got a very nice one.
Go on, what's yours?
British.
Go on.
Taking a break with tea and cake.
Yeah, I'm having a break with tea and cake.
Royal rhymes.
That is really good. Come on, taking a break with tea and cake. You know that.
That is good.
Okay, I've got taking baths and having laughs.
Loves.
Okay, it's not. I've slightly contrived it, haven't I? But I've had to. What else did I have? Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sinking jars and eating Mars.
Eating Mars.
Bars.
Bars. Yeah. I'm sinking jars and eating Mars bars. Yeah. All right. But so many of you sent them in yesterday. I mean, this is... Okay. Here's Hugh from Birmingham. He says, I'm getting tattoos and having a snooze.
That's difficult to do as well.
Very difficult to do, but it's really it's weird, isn't it? Matthew in Stockport's coming with an absolute gem. Wrestling moles and collecting ceramic bowls. Thank you so much. Joan in Chelsea has come up with spotting birds and doing crosswords. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Her age suggests she's quite of a certain age. James in Surbiton has said... kicking arse and carrying an oyster pass, which is absolute rubbish, isn't it? I think Dan Wheeler in Kingston has nailed it here. I'm breaking heads and making beds.
That's good.
That's very good, isn't it? And also, number ending 9536. I don't know what he means by this.
Neither do I.
This is really weird. And this came in very late in the show yesterday. How you doing there? I'm cooking meat and sniffing feet.
That's very niche.
Really niche.
We just had one in number 4419, paying my dues and joining queues.
Yeah, paying my dues and joining queues. That's actually quite good.
It is.
But listen, what we're looking for here is something to answer back the Americans.
Yeah,
'Cause at the
something
moment,
English.
They are the
something
super...
British, yeah.
Well, listen, do you know what's depressing is, we invented football. We're not the best at that. We invented rugby. We're not the best at that.
Cricket.
Not the best at that.
No.
And do you know what I suddenly realised the other day, we invented English. We're not even the best at that.
It's true.
If you're English, you can't be the best at English. But this is where we get power. We wrestle power back. And it's phrases like this. It's phrases like...
Making love and chilling, bruv.
It's insanely good. Give it a round of applause, guys. Come on. Sometimes someone rises to the challenge. Now, yesterday we asked you for a new version of the well-known expression, kicking ass and taking names, or indeed snapping necks and cashing checks. What we want to do is just try and claim, just the cool English back for the English. Because at the moment we're losing that one as well, along with everything else we've come up with. But we've got to become the best in the world at English. And honestly, we've really got a crack in there. Else we're going to lose this battle. Luckily, at Radio X, we're really flying the flag.
Are you going to make Britain great again?
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to make it slightly crapper.
Yeah.
But it's my ambition. Drinking ale, remaining pale. Thank you very much for that. I really like that, Gav.
Singing tunes and playing spoons. That's from Colin.
Let's see how it works. How you doing, Gav?
Singing tunes and playing spoons.
You know me, singing tunes and playing spoons. You get me? Sons.
Eating marmalade until I get paid. That's from Wrong
Eating
Bob.
marmalade until I get paid. I think Tommy has really hit this. It's just a bit of genius. You ready for this?
Go on.
Ask me how I'm doing.
How you doing?
Driving vans and sinking cans. Thank you so much, Tommy. Clap it in. It could be cans of anything. Dan Brown, as you know, the author, is a massive fan of the show. And
Yes,
he's
he
texting
is,
Gav. Say what Dan Brown said.
He
Da
says,
Vinci Code author.
Using my tools, no time for fools.
He ain't playing. That's Dan Brown. Nothing in there about the Illuminati, you notice?
No.
There you
Well,
go.
maybe it's
It
hidden.
could be. In fact, count the O's. There's 13 of them. Okay, here we go. They form a triangle within the text. Ooh. Okay. How about this? Emptying bins and kicking shins. Thank you so much for that. That's fantastic. That's really good. Gav, I love this, Gav.
This is number 739.
You're really lucky to have this one because I was going to nick this one ahead of you, even though it's colour-coded green, which means it's yours. I was going to nick it.
It says
because it's funnier than mine.
I'm driving my Clio, smelling my BO.
Good man.
This
All woman, 7398.
This one's from Carl in St Helens. Killing ants in my underpants.
Thank you very much indeed, Carl in St Helens. This is outstanding. This is from Ross Bartram. Ross, you're a king. If we have a hall of fame of texters, and you know I prefer text to anything else because only we read them. They're not for public consumption. It's just a personal thing between us. If they're good, we read them. If they're not, it's our secret.
Even though Ross tweeted.
Yeah. Shut up, Gavin. I don't want to encourage that. Why'd you cheese salad everything?
I didn't cheese
They
salad.
don't know that out there.
Ross
Oh, God, I hate you, Gavin. You've been a friend of mine for 31 years. That might end tonight. Okay, here we go. This is from Ross Bartram. I'm rearing chickens and quoting Dickens. That's just genius. Thank you so much, Gav.
Eating ham and listening to the Jam.
Nice. This is Andy stuck behind a plum in a Ford Transit Custom.
And
this is
the most British one. Isn't
This is really British. This is what we really want. It's just this will win us the war. This really will. This will win the war. Drum roll, please. Little side drum roll. Yeah, I think we know a drum roll.
Oh, hang on.
I don't mind padding the link out a bit. There's not much content in it. Let's face it. Here we go. Winning the war for the English language. Andy stuck behind a plum in a Ford Transit Custom. Stroking my red setter whilst writing a stern letter. Oh! You beautiful man. You great big lolly beautiful man.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
Sons, you all right?
Yes, good.
God, it's
thanks.
good. God, it's good having you back. Isn't it nice having
thanks.
Sons back?
Yeah.
I'm not saying no offence, Glenn, if you're listening. But it's lovely. It's just have the regular team, the first team. You know, it's the first team.
Yeah.
There are exceptions. I'm not saying because I'm not saying anything. So I do prefer Vin. I'm going to be frank with you. No, I do. I really like because he talks to me. He knows more about sport and stuff. I don't know a lot about. For instance, I don't know a lot about. I haven't got a favourite classical quartet, and also, and I don't know how this machine works particularly. I can't talk about things like you, Gav, talk about what goes on, you know, in the circuitry. So that's perhaps why we haven't bonded quite so much as Vin and I, who tend to talk about football and things. But I don't know things about things like that.
Right.
All right, okay. What'd you say? Get on with it. Bloody rude. Bosses are being asked to turn a blind eye to staff who skip work to watch the home teams in action at the European Championship. How about that?
Really?
But what I like is it's a long time in the article before we're told who's telling bosses to do this. You know, it starts off, bosses are being asked to turn a blind eye to staff who skip work. At 2 p.m. on June the 16th, England will take on Wales in a clash that could determine which team proceeds to the knockout stage. It's a massive game. I hope we both go through.
Yeah, of course.
Because I was watching the Welsh build-up, and I look at Chris Coleman, and yes, he doesn't have a dentist; he goes to a mechanic. But I sort of love what they've done, and they've got a team that's been together for such a long time. They're not as fragmented as the England team. It's going to be a tight game. Plus
And it'd be nice to have someone to support when England go out as well.
Good point. Very good point, Gav. God, just those people in Wales now just turning it up and smiling.
And they won't be supporting England if England go out.
Bloody right they won't. You're damn right they won't. The timing of the Thursday fixture is a headache for employers, warns Sir Brendan Barber.
Who's he?
That's the guy who's advising it.
Oh, who's that then?
He's head of the Employers Conciliation Service, ACAS.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, he proposes that bosses take a proactive approach and allow staff to take a few hours off to watch the match. If he's saying that,
Yeah.
what have we been messing around at? Pretending to like football?
That's a good point.
Yeah, don't pretend to like football just to get the afternoon off. What you should pretend to like? Cricket.
Yeah,
Much
then you get the
longer.
whole day off.
Listen, let me just fill you in here a little bit, right? Yeah, cricket. No, we've got 3 tests against Pakistan. That's 15 days we could get out of that one. What have we been doing?
I think the trick is, Johnny, is to make sure you're under a boss who really likes football.
What do you mean under a boss?
Well, whoever you're working for.
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought you were getting all sexy.
No.
Seriously, that's a bit odd, Gav. Anyway, the point about it is, No, back to cricket, Gav.
Yeah.
While we remain inside the box.
Yes.
Back to cricket.
The cricket box.
The cricket box, yeah. Not a nice place to be inside.
No.
Do you know when I was at my little school, we used to play cricket. There was only like one box.
Yeah.
There was 2 boxes that was in the school cricket bag.
One miserable looking box.
There's 2 boxes. They're pink without even the padding around the side. No. If you did take one in the coracles, it actually dug in. It became like those things you take patterns out with pastry.
A pastry cutter.
Yeah, and it was also weirdly it was sort of flesh colour.
Yeah.
So if you did have it on, you'd look down, you'd think I would look like Action Man.
Yeah.
But instead of pretending to be interested in some of the boarding games, England are playing Pakistan this summer. They're the last side to ever beat us in a full test series.
Yeah.
That was in Dubai a while back. And we've got 3 tests, 5 days each, 15 days off. And then I'm thinking, in the winter, maybe snooker.
Yeah.
Radio
X.
Okay, this really made me laugh. A while ago, I was telling you about how I was in Plymouth, and at 4:00 in the afternoon, I saw a guy on his own, dressed as Buzz Lightyear, peeing on the wall outside a kebab shop.
Oh no.
No, I just
Middle of the day?
Yeah, I just thought, class. You classy.
Now that's a superhero.
No, but what I liked about it is that you assume he's on a stag night or something and he's a straggler.
Yes.
And I thought and I said at the time, that is a great way to get away with, to go covert for solo daytime drinking. Dress as a superhero or wear a T-shirt with a number on the back with like things like Swifty, Dave Stag.
You think it gives you a free pass?
Yeah, it's just you. You look like a
Fine.
straggler. Anyway, I think this guy's taking it too far. If he is a Radio X listener, I apologise, but I think he's taking this a bit too far. I think you're a bit over dramatic with this one.
This is
little
the
side.
old cartoon spider
I think this is
theme.
the very old theme.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, Spider-Man got drunk.
Okay.
He really did whatever a Spider-Man could do. Well, it'd be very handy having spider powers in a pub. You want to get your round off the bar. Just that's it. Shouldn't grab, and it just comes straight to your pint.
Yeah.
Fum.
That's a good
That's
point.
it. You can even go fun and pull a pint for yourself by like 20 yards away in the beer garden.
Well, the glass
pull a
would come
pint.
to you quickly, but I don't know if the beer would.
Yeah.
No, because you could seal the top with webbing.
Oh, yeah,
Of course you
good
could.
point,
Of course
yeah.
you could. You just use a different sort of. You just think a different bit of web out. You go for the optics. You go for the optics. Just take the lot from the beer garden.
And because you're in the suit, no one will notice
No
anything.
one knows who you are. Exactly right. Although your problem would come if you really got like 9 pints in, finding the zip in the gents.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's a problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, a drunk claiming to be Spider-Man had to be rescued after getting stuck 20 metres up a cliff face in Torquay in Devon.
Oh no.
What's happened there? Because you note claiming
Yeah.
to be Spider-Man. So he's always going, I bloody am. I'll climb that cliff.
Show you.
I'll climb that cliff, I will.
Until his hands weren't as
And
sticky as he needed
and suddenly
them
he
to be.
realised, actually, maybe I haven't got the spider powers I thought I had at the bottom of the cliff.
In a very sobering moment.
And suddenly I had to go, Spider-Man needs help. Spider-Man's messed up, basically. Help! Things you very rarely
My
see.
spider senses are telling me this isn't working well.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
Okay, you ready for this? At the start of every week, we adopt a town. Yesterday, we adopted our 34th town, Stanford Blue in Essex. It's now time for radio's shortest running, lowest scoring, least engaging, civic-based, true or false quiz, the Pet Town Quiz! Stanford Leo! Stanford Leo! Okay, Stanford Le Hope. Okay, we're ready for this, guys.
Yeah.
Gav, at the start, we always have to see what you and Cinta have as your weekly buzzer. Gav, what is your buzzer?
Okay, then you call me tomorrow.
Very obscure quote, I've got to tell you. Okay, you'll call me tomorrow. Yours buzzer, please, Cinta. Do you know what? Gav's already a winner, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? When you just feel already, Gav's just already. Already people are warming to him more out there. it's almost worth a point already, isn't it? Fantastic. So,
You're such a teacher's pet, Gav?
No, it's because I don't want to show my favouritism.
Thanks, Mr. Vaughan.
I'm like, yeah, actually, okay, we go. Here's the rules. Got to wait for me to finish before answering true or false. It's 1 point for a correct answer. You will lose a point for any incorrect answer. Is that clear, Gav?
It is, yeah.
Okay, let's carry on. He's the golden boy. What can you do? He's the golden boy. Okay, let's play Pet Town Quiz. That's the happiest little Siver gets when he plays that stupid noise, then he bounces his head like that. Okay, here we go. True or false? 5th place runner-up on the X Factor, winner of Celebrity Big Brother 11 and Permatan talk show host Rylan Clark grew up in Stanford La Hope. Sunta.
False.
That's wrong, I'm afraid, my love. Sorry about that. It's, do you know what's terrible is when you're already underway on -1? Gav ahead on 0. Okay, true or false? In 1997, Stanford Blue got its very first Halfords.
Okay, then you call me tomorrow.
That's true.
Oh, Gav. I'm afraid you're wrong, mate. Sorry about that.
I've had a great day.
I think the question was badly. the question was badly phrased. I think.
It must have been that.
Yeah. It's starting to sound a bit like a witch when you laugh. I'm not going to really draw anyone's attention to it, but you're slightly getting a bit of a cackle on there. Just very slightly, son. I'd rein it in.
With it.
Sorry. True or false? According to TripAdvisor, Paulette's Bakery in Stanford La Hope has nice food and friendly service, but is also very rude.
Okay, then you call me tomorrow.
Sons.
False.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just sad for you because it is true.
Simon's getting dastardly.
Simon is getting so dastardly.
I can't read any of these.
Evil. Okay, here we go. True or false? There are bands available to hire in Stanford La Hope named Influx, Fun-Sized Monkey, and Terence and the Termites.
True.
Oh, son, sometimes you're on bad form, aren't you? Sometimes you're just unlucky. -3 plays -1. It really is quite a...
Great scoring game.
Fans of the Pet Town Quiz will remember this as one of the classics.
I might just put my buzzer down.
No one's got anything right at all. It's quite a day today. Okay, is he giving me the clean sweep? True or false? Stanford La Hope is twinned with Disappointment in Washington, D.C.
Okay, then you call me tomorrow.
That's true.
It's not. Because I think Simon has won the day here. Big Si is going mad. Final scores -2 plays -3.
Quite close, really.
This is the lowest scoring game we've ever had. No one got anything right. In fact, you really have to wonder why we bothered.
Radio
X.
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
We love racing pigeons, right, guys?
Yeah.
But who's our favourite racing pigeon?
Tony.
Exactly right. And can I say, that's the weirdest music cue I've ever heard on radio. But who's our favourite racing pigeon? Tony. Tony. A story of one pigeon's struggle.
He was a maverick.
Yeah, imagine he is quite a maverick pigeon. They don't want to let him fly because he's too maverick.
Yeah.
Okay, last month we were chatting to Stuart Wardrop, who's the head honcho of the Royal Pigeon Racing Association, so he breeds it for the Queen. Well, he doesn't personally, because men can't lay pigeon eggs. It'd be really odd if Stuart was in a loft all by himself just knocking out eggs. That'd be weird. He was brilliant. He gave us the opportunity to adopt our very own 4-7 Fang Racing Pigeon. Sorry, it's the poorest ever rhyme we've had on the show. Anyway, back in April, you helped us name it Tony. Excellent name. Or Tony, as we like to call him. And over the summer, it will be training and racing as part of the One Loft race in Tewkesbury. It's so exciting. You know, I've always wanted to have a racing pigeon. My granddad used to race them. He was a racing man. They came home for him.
Did they beat him?
Yeah, well, no, it depends. If he's on a bicycle, 1,400 pigeons will be competing against Tony over the next few months. Not him individually. They're not picking on him. Because he's like Maverick.
He's got a rep now.
Yeah, he has, yeah. That's what he's going to have on his headphones as he flies. Can we make him some little headphones? Anyway.
I want to see him play volleyball.
The final race, yeah, it'd be fantastic. Trouble is, it wouldn't be the same with pigeons because they can fly, Gav.
Yeah.
So they could just keep the ball in the air for a long time.
Very
You know,
good
they could
point.
fly about with it. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, I know you're not allowed to handle it, but you might get a long game of volleyball. Is what I'm saying with Goose. You'll be pleased to know Stuart has been back in touch with some more details of the bird. Here's the facts. Tony was born in January this year, bred by a very well-known fancier.
Yep.
Tony has an outstanding pigeon pedigree, many of its ancestors being major race winners. I've got a picture of Tony, which Gav or Sunt is going to tweet. He looks almost muscle-bound.
It really does.
He really...
Fine looking pigeon.
Yeah.
He's got a big head as well, hasn't he?
He has.
I like it when you get into the grandparents. They've
It's
got
unbelievable.
really good names.
We've got Tony's whole family tree here.
Yeah.
Then you got... there are some names. There's Newcomb, Lady Orlando. That's Newcomb, as in not like, let's nuke 'em. You know,
No.
like Cold War.
Who apparently was the winner of the South Africa $1 million race.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
It's-
impressive.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. They run it in Sun City, but unfortunately you can't breed them in Britain, so one of its progeny would have been taken over there. And they'd have done that. Yes, the $1 million race. Is that on here?
Yeah.
Where's that say that? It does.
Yeah.
First, what? Wow!
Yeah.
It's $1 million bird.
Yeah.
The $1 million pigeon. So we're all really excited. We'll find out when its first race is, and hopefully, would it slow it down? Do you think if we put like one of those GoPros on its head?
A little, maybe.
Okay.
Radio
X. Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
How are you, Woodman?
Yeah, very good.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did. It was such nice weather. I took rooms upon the coast.
Did you take?
No, I didn't. I went and stayed down there.
Did you take rooms on
I
the
did,
coast?
yeah. And I took my son out on one of those little balance bikes, and we found a really long ramp. And,
did you
and he
take-
picked his feet up for the first time ever. So I've watched my son balance on a bicycle for the first time.
Oh, that's good.
Really good fun.
I know you got a lot of brothers. Can you remember when you first learnt to ride a bike?
Yes, I can. It felt like I'd learned how to fly. It was so exciting.
Was your dad holding the back and let go?
My dad had nothing to do with it. It was just me and my brothers in the garden,
Okay.
riding around on the grass.
We lived in North London at the time, in this cul-de-sac, ironically.
Yeah.
And I was on my sister's bike. It was a Pave Master,
Right.
and my dad had taken off the stabiliser. I was like 4, and my dad was riding along, and I suddenly turned around. And my dad had let go.
Yes.
You know, you turn.
That's the age-old trick, isn't it?
Did you have that moment, little Si? Why did you nod in empathy?
No, I just practiced.
What, you just practiced?
Yeah.
Well, on your own?
Yeah.
All right.
Did you fill in a report in the evening
You have to fill in a report.
and draw illustrations?
Was there silence at dinner? All you could hear was the carriage clock and the creaking of your father's shoes. And then, as a treat, at the end of dinner, he read a passage of Dickens. Honestly,
And allowed a single boiled sweet.
talk about his childhood. It's like one of Milton's daughters.
It is.
Literally, every night they had the treat of having him dictate Paradise Lost to them.
You
What
grew
a
up-
lovely evening that must have been. One of Milton's daughters.
You grew up in an Alan Bennett play. Little Si grew up in a Dickens novel, didn't
Anyway,
he?
why am I? Yeah, he really did. Yes. What's your father called? Mr. Verrick. Josiah Verrick. Anyway, so I turned round and my dad wasn't there, and I just crashed straight away.
Oh, because he wasn't there.
He wasn't there. I just suddenly lost. I couldn't do it. It's like bumblebees. You told them they couldn't fly. I
yeah.
just fell down. Yeah. And do you know what? As I got up, there was only one man that far. It was Roger Moore, whose girlfriend had lived, Dorothy Squires, who had lived in our road. They'd shared a little love nest there together in like the late 60s.
So
and early
Roger
70s.
Moore picked you up.
No, Roger Moore just looked and he just tutted.
At you or your father?
My father. Just for letting, he's like, another one's done it. That was it. All I remember is just looking up and seeing it was the last time he must have ever gone down our road. And there was just Roger Moore just looking, just shaking his head, just going, and he just moved off. Bit unhelpful of him, really.
Surreal.
Yeah, it was surreal.
Johnny Vaughan.
Radio
X.
Radio X.
Can we just say big happy birthday to Ronnie Wood? Happy birthday, Ron!
Happy
birthday, Ron.
Ron, he's not only has he got that to celebrate, but of course 2 days ago, he became a father to twin girls.
Yep.
Wow.
The age of 68. These are for Ronnie. These are babies 5 and 6.
Okay.
I'm presuming they've got names as well and everything. But What are you going to call them, Ron? That's 5, that's 6, I don't know.
Couple of new cats in the
Couple
house.
of new cats. Everyone knew that's cat 5, that's cat 6. Leave it at that. He's this is with Ms. Humphries, an actress and theatre producer. He's been with her for more than 3 years. They discussed having children quite a lot, so Ronnie's done that. I'm a big fan of Ronnie Wood. I was at a radio awards. I know this isn't all about me, but he did me, and it's something I do bang on about it because it's the proudest moment of my life ever.
Your greatest achievement?
It's my greatest achievement, I think. Yeah, I was at this radio awards, the Archivas or whatever, and Ronnie had actually won a couple. I hadn't, as usual, and. Never. You always know you're going to lose if you've been nominated in the same category as the host of the awards ceremony.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, you're never going to. 10 times out of 10, you'll lose that one. Anyway, Ron had won one. I don't think he thought he was going to have another one, so we nipped off for a cigarette and stuff. And we didn't come back in time for him to pick his award up.
Oh, so we missed it.
Yeah. And but what was really nice is that it said Ronnie Wood failed to pick up his second award. He was led astray by Johnny Vaughan.
A Rolling Stone.
I was like, God, they said the Rolling Stone was led astray by Johnny Vaughan. I'll tell you something, when you read that in the paper, you think,
A warm glow.
I'm good. I've really made it. I've led a Rolling Stone astray.
You're some kind of crazy cat.
I'm a crazy cat. But anyway, I know it sort of sounds a bit arrogant, but I have to say that if I've done anything in life, I've led a Rolling Stone astray.
Radio
X.
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
I've been talking about the most broad-minded police force on earth. This is extraordinary.
Okay.
You read something. Police give advice, and generally in our country, it's to stop you doing something.
Yeah.
And that's the whole idea of it.
Sure.
A lot of other countries, I'm not blaming our laws or anything like that. We've got an unwritten constitution. Although if you are arrested ever, you can't say, I want my unwritten rights, please.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a law, it just hasn't been written yet. But in other countries, they just seem to sort of think, you know what, they're going to do it, we'll just make it safe. And I sometimes, I'm not going to start being, I'm no big liberal, but sometimes you sort of think that maybe is the best way to go forward.
It's the ball pit technique, isn't it?
Yeah. What's that, Kev?
Kids are going to jump.
Yeah.
Put a big pit of balls under it.
Yeah. Right. There we
get
go.
on with it.
I
Yeah.
like it. It's a nice analogy. There's a touch of logic in there.
Yeah.
Which I like, Gav. But
Just a little bit, yeah.
But don't keep too much of that.
Okay.
All right. It's not the right place for common sense. This show.
Sure.
But this is extraordinary. Police put brake on sex. Stockholm. This is advice the Swedish police have warned after a passionate couple's van. Oh God, I hope it was a transit custom. rolled down a hill and crashed. Safety first on all levels. The city police have put out a big reminder that if you're going to have sex in a car, please put on the handbrake. Amazing.
Very specific advice from
Really
the police.
advice, yeah.
How have they done that? Have they put it on billboards or
They've
they made it
They've
adverts?
tweeted. I'd love it if they put it on billboards.
Yeah.
A couple there. Be safe. Yeah. 2 Swedes. They said safety first on all levels, officers tweeted. The city police are known for their humorous posts on social media. In May, the force mocked a downright stupid youth. That's what they called him, downright stupid. He had a fake driving licence. But unfortunately, on this youth's fake driving licence, which they decided to tweet around the place, he put his birthday as February the 30th. It's kind of genius.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
X.
Martin's hot tap, he needs a brand new one. But he can't be asked to get it done. Sing! Martin's hot tap, been broken for so long. But what haven't you fixed that went wrong? Gavin, it's not fixed.
Can't resist.
Okay, Martin in the Radio X office has a broken hot tap in his kitchen.
I know.
It's been broken for 2 years.
Wow.
You know what? Just can't be asked to fix it.
ARST,
That's ARST. It's our new word. Trademarked by the Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 thing. Okay, this is genius. The wife ordered a replacement oven light bulb, which I've never known anyone do. I can't do any of the ones above my cooker. Literally, I'm down to 1 of 4 now. It was bright enough to light the whole kitchen. No, it's not bright enough to find the hob to light a fag. Anyway, here we go. The wife ordered a replacement oven light bulb, which has been sitting on the worktop next to the oven for 5 months. 5 months. He's actually at the light bulb.
Sitting on the worktop.
Yeah, he's actually there. And also, can I tell you, really easy to fix as well.
Yeah,
okay, you've got to
right
take
there.
the plastic cover out a little bit.
Yeah.
Go on, Gav.
This is from John and Susie in Putney. They said, I fitted a new kitchen 7 years ago and the tap wouldn't stop dripping. It's still dripping.
That'll drive you mad.
We put a sponge under the drip so it doesn't drive us insane.
Clap it in.
Yes.
7 years of a tap dripping torture.
7 years, then they've got a special sponge. They don't need to
That's
fix it. Gav. They've got
brilliant.
the special dripping sponge. Sandra Templeton.
This is from Dan in Epsom. I can't be asked to fix my shower head. The cap came off and I tried to stick it back on with glue. Now it kind of shoots out over your head when you're stood under it and in various different directions. So, depending on what part of my body I'm washing, I stand in a different part of the bath.
Okay, we've been using pliers to turn our oven on and off for about
5 years.
Well, that doesn't sound safe.
What I love is when people come round and they just see you just with your...
Yeah.
Have you seen the pliers, dear? But the thing is, you have seen the pliers because it's all you use the pliers for. Because if you're the sort of person that uses them for the oven, it means you can't be asked to use them for anything else. We've been using pliers to turn our oven on and off for about 5 years. Can replace the knob for about £4. But get this, CBA. Can't be asked. That's Naomi in Southend. Thank you so much, Naomi. Absolute gem.
That's brilliant.
Gav.
I got a puncture on Christmas Eve. Space Saver tyre still on. It has
Oh man, I love it when I see cars with an
brilliant.
old. And how long do they recommend you? They recommend you get a proper tyre at the next possible opportunity.
and don't drive faster than 12 miles an hour.
You see one overtake you with an old one on.
But this is funnier because this Space Saver, it has a slow puncture, as does another tyre. So I bought a cigarette lighter powered cheap compressor to top them up. Takes 10 minutes per tyre.
Wow,
Can't
man.
be asked. That's Paul in Oxfordshire.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Car,
I
yeah.
tell you what, though, I don't know what it is about those temporary tyres, but I find them. Whenever I see them on a car for ages, I just laugh my head off. Especially if there's kids in the car. I think you are so cavalier. You just don't care, do you?
D-O-X.
Johnny Vaughan.
In our studio at the moment, we're enjoying playing football during records. But what worries me is the football we've got is it's a full-size football. It is actually full-size, but it's one for the film Frozen.
Yeah.
I just wonder, are we the only people to have one of those?
I think it's because they're using it as the new ball for Euro 2016. I think that's
Is that
the vibe,
right?
It'd be
isn't it?
great if it was
Yeah.
the new approved ball.
Exactly.
The really light
Just saying,
plastic one.
It's one of those meetings I've always missed when the new ball gets approved.
Yeah.
I always suspect that's because I haven't got lots of cash in envelopes. Probably, I'm not saying there's any corruption there, but you're absolutely right, Sons. Wouldn't it be great if the official ball this year, the high visibility ball for the February to April period, the Frozen ball from Disney?
They've gone with a Mr. Men ball this year.
Just that shot at kickoff. You're absolutely right, Kev. The shot at kickoff. Be over. Just Nemo. Just there.
I like the idea of
The
it being a
thimbles.
really light, rubbery one like this one, not a proper leather one.
Yeah.
It's just bouncing
just
all
really
over the place.
floats for miles on a windy
Swerving
day.
all over the
windy
place.
day is impossible to control. Must have a plastic bag out there.
Power play, 10 minutes.
Anyway, I'd like to know who are the people who play Frozen with it. It's a full size ball.
It's an indoor ball, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not really, Gav. I don't know what it.
It is now, Johnny.
Yeah, it is. No, the point is there are no indoor. No one likes their kids to play football indoors.
I know, but big size pretty good on it.
My son's driving me mad at the moment just do skateboarding in the hall. Just practicing tricks. Yeah, he just does skateboarding. And what he does is he wants to do this thing. He wants to do an ollie, where you just kick it down and it jumps in the air.
Yeah.
And just this noise. Clack, clack. After I just go going, just stop! Please! You know, I've been through all the... I'm just worried about you just banging your head on the
And
table.
it's escalated now.
Yeah, it's
Just-
really... First of all, it's safety concerns. And now I'm like, just stop it. Just stop it. Just no skateboarding in the house.
Has he sent it flying into the skirting
Oh,
board
no,
loads
it's
of times?
driving me. Honestly, it's driving me absolutely mad. And then he goes outside. He says, all right, I'll take it outside. So it means if I'm inside, it's like sort of evening, I'm trying to watch television. And all the time, like through the French windows, I've just got this kid just bouncing up and down like a Jack Russell, the other side of the glass.
Periphery.
Yeah, just in my peripheral vision.
More
I can
distracting,
just hear. It's just sort of really annoying noise. And I can just see him, and then I'll see him suddenly fall over, and I'll stand in the corner. I think, oh, Christ alive. You send him out into a small London back garden. You really want to send him out in pads.
Yeah.
Really pad your kid up.
It is.
Oh, man.
It's a long triaging casualty with
really
skateboarding
is. It really is, and it's really annoying because I sort of a bit of me wants to go out there and have a go.
Yeah.
And the other day I remember I used to be able to do that one where you sort of kick the side of the board and land on it.
Yeah.
And we're taking the dog for a walk, so I thought while he wasn't looking, what I'd do is not the dog, the child.
Yeah.
And I thought what I'll do is I'll have a go on the grass because then if I fall over I won't get injured. But all that was. I think everyone looking at me must have thought,
what is he doing?
No, everyone looking must have thought that man's just clearly mad because you wouldn't have seen the skateboard, yeah, because the grass was quite long. So I put one leg just underneath the skateboard, have another foot on it, and I tried to kick it up, and it just looked like some man had just deliberately jumped in the air and fallen sideways onto his head.
Johnny Vaughan.
Radio X. Radio X.
What is it, do you think, Sunta, that 96% of people in Manchester do every day? The highest in Britain. What is it?
Having lived in Manchester, is it connected to rain?
You said like the world's worst ever university challenge contestant.
Is it football?
I was going to go, Manchester Sunta, Manchester Templeton.
Is it rain?
No, it's not rain.
Football?
What, do they rain?
No, but connected to rain.
No, it's not connected to rain. No, it's not put up umbrellas.
Nothing to do with football?
You're like the guy who answers from the same team or for the other team and is offered a cross and also hasn't got a clue. No,
okay.
Neither of you got a clue. No,
Music?
it's not. No, you've had your guess. They eat biscuits. they eat biscuits.
Oh.
I only say it because it says Manchester takes biscuits. Britain ate 420,000 tons of biscuits last year.
There's a biscuit factory in Manchester. It smells lovely.
I know, but they don't all break in at night and nick biscuits.
No, but I think there's a big biscuit eating culture off the back of the factory.
Oh, it's because we'll go home and have some tea, innit? We'll just make a cup of tea, innit? It's because rain makes you want to have a cup of tea. Oh, let's get a brew on. Make some tea, innit?
I'll be honest though, we eat as many biscuits as that in this studio every day.
What, as a whole of Manchester?
Yes.
I doubt it, love. But do you think, Suns, that the smell of biscuits just hanging around Manchester goes, what do I feel like?
Yeah.
I just feel like biscuits.
It's a really good
Do you
smell.
think they just can't, they don't even take it in anymore? They're just living in like a bit, they're like sort of, instead of Bisco, it's like Bisco kids.
So what?
It's like Bisto, but Bisco.
Bisco.
And they're off down the Bisco to have a dance.
Biscuit factory sounds like a club.
It sounds like a really good club, doesn't it? Bisco. A Bisco Tech.
That'll be some trendy, beardy business soon, won't it? It'll be a biscuit club.
A Bisco Tech.
They've got
Well, you
cereal
just go
cafes
and just go on. It's for people that have given everything up because they went too over the top back in the 80s and 90s. And now they go to Bisco Tech.
Sean Ryder's
and
new
they come
club,
in,
yeah.
and as they go, they're getting frisked and bounced and just pulling biscuits out. All right, I've got some rich tea in my back pocket and all. Manchester led the pack with 96% taking a daily. 96% of people.
That's
eating
everyone.
Biscuits.
Do you know what? That's everyone who isn't asleep.
Yes.
Or ill or can't eat
or
a
just
biscuit.
like can't be asked to go to the shops. or the 4% who've just run out. Or they're round at someone else's who's got biscuits. Or they think you're running a biscotheque. Or they just put a bit of weight on.
I think it's just another reason why it's one of the best cities in the world.
Right. Do you know what? With 96% of people having biscuits, it sounds like a very welcoming town. Because biscuit people aren't violent.
No.
As soon as you've broken biscuit with someone, that's not going to spill over into trouble. Someone will say, yeah, I'm going to use the F word then. He is. Come round my mate and try and nick him, it will. Okay, talking about, I bet they are. But you see, I can see the Gallaghers tucking into biscuits together. That must be just when the violence stopped between the brothers. Maybe that was the problem. They ran out of biscuits.
X.
This is Radio X.
Okay, you ready for this? Mm-hmm. I said there's never been a better time to get a skinhead. I'll never forget the day when I was 11. Yeah, it'd be 11 because it's just about to start a punk rock. And, my mum made the mistake of leaving me alone in the barber's. And I sat down in the barber's, my mum had just gone. And the barber goes, He goes, what would you like? I went, skinhead, please. and he says, and it's all right with your mum? I said, yeah. That's what she said.
No.
Yeah. He went, well, right, how short do you want to go? She goes, very, she wants a skinhead. And my mum came back, she was just nearly in tears. She was so upset. I was so pleased to have one. I kind of bounced out of the shop just feeling like the best thing on earth. Yeah, and then nature does it for you, and you just come out the barber and you just cry. I once had a moment in the barber's where a barber's a mate of mine. It's just a moment. He looked, he picked up the thinning scissors, looked at my hair, and went, nah. He's put them down again.
That's like
I said, you're joking, Paul. You're joking, right? He goes, it's not worth it for me. It's just there's an old saying in painting and decorating, you got too much show through. Which when you're painting and the previous coat's going through, that was my scalp. Anyway, the good news is I was bang on because I've never suffered hair lice. And here we go. Families seeking fun in the sun may be left scratching their heads this summer. It's not just the weather that could be lousy, as billions of mutant head lice are hungry to suck blood from people's scalps. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Suck blood, do they?
This is by the mutant head lice.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do, yeah. A mild winter and damp spring, warm houses and resistance to treatments. They just described my whole life. Seriously. That's Wandsworth. I mean, in that case, I'm in an area for this. Have made conditions perfect for the mutants to thrive.
Mutant.
I don't know why they're thriving now, because that's like default Britain. No one's safe. Even supermodel Heidi Klum has admitted on TV her kids have had them. Well, Heidi Klum's kids have had them. It doesn't
Does
mean
it take that much admitting?
Can I say, that doesn't mean no one's safe.
That's right, yeah.
Get inside!
Even Heidi Klum's kids have had it.
Kids have had them, for God's sake. This is serious. You know. That's not an official threshold, is it?
No.
And the government has said Heidi Klum's children have had head lice. Bring yours inside now.
We got a celeb kid down.
Heidi Klum's kids are down. Get the kids inside. Shave them. Scientists, itching to stop the spread, have developed over-the-counter remedies. But you know what? The lice, I love this. I love it when it implies lice are crafty in any way. Are you ready for this? The lice are shielding themselves against permathin, the active ingredient. They're shielding themselves. They're forming up like Roman soldiers when they do the tortoise with shields. Form 8! The lice are like that. For shields! Shields up, lads!
Shields up.
Shields up, lads! The shampoo's coming in. Up to 1 in 3 children in the UK may get head lice at some point during the year, but this is going to be a bad year, so get your kids a skinhead right now. Come on, let's do it. We'll make them listen to lots of madness. And wear Adidas sneakers, quite tight jeans, Harringtons, with their names on the back.
X.
You know, British Home Stores is shutting down since. Do you know what they should have done with it?
What?
Something really good. First of all, is the rename. Yeah, so we outside it again. You get that lovely 70s graphic, so like the British Home Store. But I call it the British Home Store. That's the first thing. Second thing is, it's amazing it's failed, considering that everyone in Britain wants to have the Union Jack. It's a good thing, right? I mean, everywhere, Union Jack makes everything look kind of good, okay?
Yeah.
And it's the only shop on the high street that's allowed, the Union Jack. They've actually got the word British in there. The next thing I look at is the fact that they could have a place where everything in there and get grants and encourage people to make things, like apprenticeships, to make everything in there British. So everything is made by British. Or made here. You have a whole floor of like young British designers that are coming up, and they come out of all our schools and universities, and that's where they get a chance to have their little shop they're trying out for, like a bit of like a sort of not like an apprentice deal, but you're bringing through sort of a bit of young talent there.
Really like that idea.
Yes, it could become a place to showcase the very best in British furniture, design, in art.
Yeah.
It could become everything that sort of Conran was doing back in the kind of 70s with Shabitat. No offence to that place, but it could become somewhere where, you know, like a feeder league. We've got some of the world's best sort of designers come from this country, engineers, great thinkers, really imaginative, creative nation, and they just all bugger off to other countries where we got this sort of this talent drain, and it's so sad. There's nowhere that.
So you're complaining about emigration.
Yes, I'm complaining about immigration. Yeah, I know it's really politically incorrect, but actually, also when people do complain about immigration anyway, that's not a problem. The problem is in immigration. It's why they're emigrating is the real problem. We'll get to that another day, Gav. The point, let's stay inside the box. The point about British home stores, it's a real lost opportunity. It drives me mad that we just don't have enough faith in ourselves at this level. The only time we have faith in ourselves is a classic example is the Jaguar model, where suddenly, when we had the credit crunch a few years back, and Jaguar's going out of business. And suddenly the government had loads of money to offer the people that own it to bail it out. I think it's funny, isn't it? Because you didn't have the cash to keep it here in the first place and let the success that's happened here anyway.
And it's done well.
And it's done really well. And it's time someone put the investment up front, got a bit long-term about things instead of this sort of chronic short-termism to satisfy shareholders. And actually shareholders actually kept their cool and weren't sort of like tight, weak poker players round a table, only betting on hands they know they can win on. But actually saying, no, I'm in for the big round. I'm going to let the pot get a bit big. I'm going to let it swell up a bit. Then I'm going to get it all in. You know, and we had a bit of faith in ourselves. We're really the most creative country on earth. Scotland alone's come out with the 57 top inventions that have changed the world, and they're still part of Britain. As well, last time I looked. Anyway, it drives me mad because I used to love going there as a kid.
Yeah.
And there we go.
You're right.
No, I'm not. It really cheeses me off. There's all these people, and it's loads of jobs, and it's loads of people, and it actually affects people, you know. And it's like, you know, it's part of the British High Street, the British Home Store. Could be a great thing, and they're just going to let it go away again, like another great thing that's died. Pathetic. Not particularly funny, I know. Goodbye.
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
Radio X.
That was the Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 Thang podcast. Thank you so much for downloading it. What do you think, Sons?
It's good, I reckon.
I reckon it was all right.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't heard it.
No.
Because Simon won't let us, because we complain. But I reckon, judging by the look in his face...
I didn't like it.
Didn't you? What didn't you like about it?
I don't know.
Not enough of you? No. No, seriously, is that? No. I understand. That's always my problem with things.
No, of course I liked it.
You didn't, did you?
Of course
no,
I did.
You've got a slight curl in your lip.
No, I haven't.
Do you know what? A French teacher once said that to a friend of mine. Don't you curl your lip at me.
How'd you curl a lip?
I don't know. No one could work out how he did it because we all then try. But he must have looked around the class and just seen everyone just trying to curl a lip. Just because we sort of wanted to be told not to. Anyway, thank you very much for downloading the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it very much and enjoy the